We're back. After a few weeks away, lawmakers returned to Raleigh and they wasted no time shaking things up, passing a stopgap budget and overriding a string of gubernatorial vetoes. You're watching the Matthews Area Chamber Advocacy Update, sponsored by Atrium Health. I'm Brian Francis, and it is August 4th, 2025. After a month-long recess and weeks of budget stalemates, the North Carolina General Assembly returned to Raleigh and passed a stopgap spending measure. Now, you will recall that we're currently operating under last year's budget, which continues in perpetuity until budgets are changed. Now, this new one is commonly referred to as a mini budget because it's a temporary plan that addresses immediate funding needs while the full budget negotiations continue. The mini budget includes step increases for public school employees, such as teachers and principals, as well as other state workers who are on salary schedules. Now, these step increases are based on years of experience, but the measure does not provide across-the-board raises. The plan also provides funding to account for enrollment growth in K-12 schools, community colleges, and the UNC system. This year's education lottery allocations top $1 billion annually for the first time, and there's a significant increase in funding for school transportation and other key initiatives. Medicaid received an additional $600 million to help cover increased enrollment and rising costs, though that figure falls short of the Department of Health and Human Services' updated request. Lawmakers emphasize that there is still time to revisit Medicaid funding before any shortfalls arise. Additional provisions in the mini budget include $142 million in crop loss relief and expanded funding for the DMV to support 40 new driver's license examiner positions this year and 21 more next year. Another $6 million launches a new program within the state auditor's office, loosely modeled after the federal DOGE efforts, which will use AI to review spending. And finally, a small but important provision transfers $8 million each year from federal TANF funds to support the state's child care subsidy program, keeping overall funding levels stable. In addition to passing the mini budget, lawmakers also voted to override 8 of Governor Josh Stein's 14 recent vetoes. 2 of those bills have been previously discussed in our updates and are relevant to the business community. The first, Senate Bill 266, is an energy measure that allows Duke Energy to charge customers up front for new power plants and removes a 2030 carbon emissions goal. Supporters say it strengthens long-term energy reliability, while critics warn it could raise electric bills and undermine clean energy progress. The second override, House Bill 402, the RAINS Act, requires legislative approval for any new rules that have an impact of over $20 million. Supporters say this provision was needed for oversight over major regulations, while opponents are concerned it could cause delay on issues such as water quality and public health rules. And finally, lawmakers agreed to adjourn until August 26th, and they will keep additional meetings planned for the remainder of the year. Until next time, I'm Brian Francis, and this has been the Matthews Area Chamber Advocacy Update, sponsored by Atrium Health.